Joana, thank you so much for joining us here at SuperInvestor. What are you seeing as key strategies, if you like, for navigating these incredibly difficult economic times that the industry is facing?
So in the private equity space, obviously you can invest across strategies, and I think what we find very attractive today is to invest in strategies that support companies that are still growing despite the current environment, that have attractive margins, that are able to put a product out there that is desirable by investors and consumers, and therefore can really allow prices increases. Inflation obviously is a key topic for everyone. Also companies that need low leverage, that their growth is still possible without having to put a lot of capital in terms of leverage. And it's something that is obviously very protected in environments like today, where there's so much fluctuation on the interest rates expectations. So strategies that really talk about small companies that are flexible, that are nimble, that can adjust to more challenging macro environments like the one we're facing today, but are operating in attractive niches that will mean all these characteristics I just described. On the other side, secondaries is also very interesting. It's a good buying opportunity. So we have basically seen increasingly less transactions happening, valuations are not adjusted, but we are about to get there. And then lastly, we're also seeing a very attractive trend on climate impact. And there's a strong climate tailwind. Private sector has a role to play. And we really see that as one of opportunity that will be very attractive in the even tougher market environments.
So there you're describing what make good managers in this environment. What do those managers need to be doing for the portfolio companies?
So the companies are looking out for support to enhance the capabilities that they don't have. Frankly, managers can understand their businesses, but typically it's more about supporting them in how they will manage tough client discussions, how they will manage prices increases at their supply chain, at logistics level, how they will be able to launch a new product in tough market adoption. So really complementing what the company does not have. And really, they look out for depth of experience, for people that have burned their fingers, that have had tougher times, and really know how you can survive in these current market conditions, having a resilient position, and continue striving for growth to the possible extent.
So that's relationships with portfolio companies. Sticking with that theme, if you like, what do relationships look like between LPs and GPs in this sort of environment, and what are they expecting in terms of partnerships?
So I would say we are coming out of a period where it was tough to be an LP. The market has been really fast in producing new managers, new funds. The fundraising cycles are becoming really like every 3 years managers are in the market rather than 5 years a few years ago. So LPs had very limited say, I would say, to be able to be part of some managers. I think the next 2-3 years are probably showing a shift of power from GPs to LPs. And finally, I think we can have better positions into kind of economic terms of funds, or being able to show a bit more say on the fast and aggressive approaches on fundraisings, launch of new products, aggressive changes on management teams. So really trying to have a greater say that, in our view, will be quite fruitful for the performance in general in the space of private equity.
So that's relationships, and moving on to sort of topics and key themes here at the event. We're obviously seeing ESG on the agenda a lot. What would you say is the position there, and what opportunities are there in this sort of environment with ESG?
So indeed, ESG is one of the key topics, and I think you could see when you look at the agenda of the program, I was myself in 2 panels talking about these in 2 different days. We just came out of a session on regulatory environment where the audience had a lot of questions, which frankly not always happens. So you have really an opportunity to tackle into strategies that are integrating ESG and are looking at it as a form of risk mitigation to some extent, but increasingly looking at it as a pillar of value creation. Or alternative, you can go a step further and look out for sustainable investment strategies, which today in the current environment is a regulatory word, the word sustainable investment, and cannot be used in vain anymore. and obviously create opportunities for managers that have been particularly experienced in this space to create interesting strategies and differentiated strategies. It's also an approach that you can see experience will pay off, and so we are seeing that within, for example, environmental topics, climate is one of the strong tailwinds that we see. And the energy crisis we're facing, the unfortunate event of the war, has exacerbated all that is happening into the energy transition side. On the other hand, COVID put out a lot of the issues on the social side. So social impact strategies will also be very welcomed. We have probably stronger mental health that we never issues that we ever have. We have very strong focus on education. A lot of that also going to support on the technology side of it. So there are attractive opportunities being created out there. The only question we raise as investors and capital allocators is really the size of those opportunities. To be truly impactful, can you really allocate very vast amounts of capital? I think depending on the niche you operate, clearly the climate being the most eminent right now and probably the largest, we believe that with discipline you could really achieve very attractive returns at a scale. On the social side, I think it has to be looked more on scale case by case, and as the regulatory framework will also evolve from 2024 onwards, you will also see an attractive set of opportunities branching out as a result.
This is the largest global gathering of your profession, 1,300 people here in Amsterdam. What would you hope, Joana, they would take away from a conversation with you this week?
So that I would say the key topic will be, I came here to talk about ESG, I came here to talk about our climate impact fund. So I hope people will take away from the sessions we had together that the sustainability of a company is really a future must-have feature, that you cannot call a successful company in 5 years' time, there won't really be at least a good ESG leader and potentially a strong impact company. Also, we are living tough times generally as economies, so hope people also take the time to reflect and be prudent on when putting out, allocating capital, and really be mastering all this portfolio and all this capital that they are being the guardians of by millions of investors. So the message is really of hope, but also of cautious.
Joana, thank you so much for joining us. Great to talk to you.
Thank you.